All right. How to get the most out of the Influential Leader Workshop and qualify for bonuses. So today is your orientation call. Today we are going to cover how to get the most out of the workshop, how to make sure that you're walking away with wins, and how to get those little extras. So I want to make sure that next week you take advantage of all the time and all of my attention and get everything that you need. So my name's Melissa, and I'm going to be your guide through the Influential Leader Workshop. And I want to share just a little bit about me so you can feel comfortable in knowing who you're going to be spending the week with. So the Influential Leader Workshop has seen over 500 influential leaders attend and get some good wins out of. And these are leaders from around the world. So we've seen leaders who are CEOs, COOs, executive directors, business owners, managers at every level. So the only thing is you need to be in a position where you're leading people. Okay, this is about people and leadership. So welcome. If you've registered, you've made a commitment to yourself. And I know this is not an easy commitment to make, especially when we've got all kinds of things happening. When you're in a leadership position, you're responsible for a lot of things. And when you're dealing with a ton of fires and time constraints, it can be hard to set that time aside to do this kind of training. So I want to commend you for taking that first step. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, ooh, I missed out on this and I want to register, this is the time to register. So right now, Kelsey-Ann, would you drop the link to the workshop in the comments to make sure that if you have not yet registered and taken advantage of this, you can do so now for free.
Absolutely. So if you are watching, please say hi. We'd love to know where you're watching from. And if you have questions like, what happens if my employee is only there for the paycheck? Or how do I deal with employees who avoid me and give me those uncommitted surface answers? You know, how do you get past the pattern of their commitments, but there's no follow through? You know that the employee has good intentions, but they bring their personal problems to work. Like, how do you set those boundaries? Or maybe even how do you break through the denial and defensiveness when your employee is not open to feedback? So these are the types of questions that Melissa digs into next week.
Yes. And for myself, I know the pain of leadership. I spent 20 years in management in my career, and I've spent the last 10 years really behind the scenes as a coach, helping leaders and helping them be more effective, helping them empower employees so that employees can take more initiative, take more ownership, so that they as leaders can get their time back and focus on the important work that's on their desk and that impactful strategic work that they're responsible for. So I've done more than 400 hours of coach training. So I'm a trained coach. I've got more than 16 certifications. I've lost count. 16 was the last time I counted. And I logged about more than 2,000 hours of actual coaching in the past couple of years. So I am not only a trained coach, this is what I do day in, day out, every week. I'm a professional certified coach, so I have an ICF accreditation. So I went through the process of getting vetted. I had to submit tapes. I had to go through an exam. And I have a code of ethics that I need to follow. And you can report me if I don't follow that code of ethics. So that is part of protecting myself, but it's also part of protecting my client and being able to demonstrate that I am and I do what I say that I do. I am an endorsed choice theory instructor. with William Glasser International. So I have not only been certified in choice theory, reality therapy, and lead management, I'm a practicum supervisor and an instructor at the basic level. I am an instructor for 6 Seconds. So 6 Seconds is a global organization focused on emotional intelligence. So I am certified with them and also an instructor. So this is just to give you some of, what you get when you work with me. You get all of this. And my area of expertise is really focused on the people side of business. So 3 pillars to my work are choice theory, reality therapy, lead management, which is really digging into behavior, what's behind behavior, and how can we communicate in a way to empower employees. Emotional intelligence. Emotions come up and emotions drive people. People drive performance. So knowing how to work with those emotions is an essential part of leadership. And my third pillar is trust facilitation. So I spent years studying with a leading trust expert about trust facilitation. Trust is an emotion, right? Connecting back to emotional intelligence, trust is an emotion that helps people open up and collaborate. And without it, you get closed down, resistance. So being able to facilitate trust with your employees is critical to get that collaboration. So I share all of these credentials, not to toot my horn, but for you to feel comfortable, for you to get a sense of who I am and who you're going to spend some time with next week. So I also want to introduce you to a couple of people joining me on this call. One that if you've been following me, Kelsey Ann. And the other is Ghislain. Ghislain is brand new to our team here. So Ghislain is the Director of Client Solutions. And who he's going to be for you next week is a concierge. Helping you get the most out of the workshop. So he's going to be connecting with you. He's going to be checking in. He's going to make sure that your needs are being addressed during the workshop. So
Very
Ghislain,
excited to do so,
yeah, what would you
and
like to say
sorry,
about
sorry
yourself?
to. Well, I'm not nearly as experienced or have the credentials that you are, Melissa, but I do come from a leadership and sales background. So for me, I'm very excited to be a part of the team at In Charge Coaching. I'm looking forward to the event next week and connecting with the people that are taking the time to invest in themselves. And I'm looking forward to guiding them through their path, because every path is different, but there is one for everybody out there.
Exactly. And the people are amazing. The people who join this workshop, these leaders are experienced leaders. They know what they're dealing with. They understand the struggle and they know what they're looking for. And so she said it's going to be a real treat being with these leaders next week.
Absolutely.
Kelsey Ann.
So, as Melissa said, I've been here for a bit now. I'm Kelsey Ann. I am her Director of Operations, and I am the lead on organizing these public-facing learning opportunities. So every week when we go live, or every other week when we go live, I make sure that Melissa's available because her her schedule looks like Tetris lately. So we want to give value, and we do so in opportunities like next week. So I'll be here to help support you with any tech issues, coordinate questions and answers for Melissa, and the workshop materials. So this is a workshop likely unlike anything you've ever experienced before. It is 100% actionable. So meaning you're going to be actually walking away with a step-by-step strategy to turn any difficult employee situation into a win for you and your team. So Melissa will be giving you an inside look to her internal processes that she uses with her clients as an executive coach. So you're getting this amazing sneak peek at these amazing tools. And she's going to give you that exact system so you can duplicate it for yourself. So as I mentioned, it's going to be workshop style. She's going to walk you through a simple, actionable process that will motivate and inspire your employees without feeling like you have to drive them to success. So there's no fluff at all.
No fluff.
No,
I don't like fluff. I don't subscribe to fluff. It's either going to be effective or we're chucking it.
agreed. So, and the best part is we've scheduled it so you can tune in on your lunch break. So there's no need to take a day off to get the benefits of this workshop.
Yes. And what are the benefits of the workshop? Like, let's talk about that. This workshop is focused on looking at those performance issues that you've been dealing with employees, how to address them so that you can turn those employees into rock stars. And the reality is employees, they want to perform, they want to do good, they want to feel proud about their work. There's no one that I have yet to encounter the employee that says, hey, I'm going to go to work and be a shit employee. Like, that's not a thing. It's not a thing I've encountered so far. So what you're going to learn in this workshop, what you're going to get out of it is to know how to eliminate that employee disengagement, to know how to stop it in its tracks when an engagement starts to slip. We want to deal with engagement while we still have it, because it is harder to turn it from disengagement to engagement. But if that is the situation that you're dealing with, it's okay. I have you. I have you. So you'll know the specific approach to be effective in your situation. Not every situation is the same. So I'm going to give you a framework so you can evaluate where you're at and what is going to be effective. It's going to boost your influence. And it's going to boost your effectiveness in your communication. So if you've been feeling like you've been having all of these conversations, but you're not getting the outcome that you're seeking, this is going to help you get those outcomes. So you'll be able to adjust your approach and the way that you're engaging in those conversations during the week. And you're going to be able to transform those hard conversations, because let's face it, I don't want to have a hard conversation. You don't want to have a hard conversation. The employee definitely doesn't want to have a hard conversation. If anything, they're trying to avoid it as much as you are. So let's not have hard conversations. Let's have conversations that actually feel good, that meet the needs, and that co-create a goal that we can all get on board with. And that is what I want to help you do. So you don't just get to tackle this employee engagement and performance. You're actually going to be learning tools that's going to elevate the kinds of conversations you're having with your team and help people feel good, which means a better climate, which means people feel better here, which means more engagement all around. If you're a leader, I know that you're dealing with all kinds of complex, unique situations. When it comes to people, there is no one size fits all. Like, let's just be real. It does not exist. The behaviors could look the same, but what's underneath all of those behaviors is very unique to the individual. So I want to give you a strategy that's going to allow you to do that. So I'm going to give you a rinse and repeat strategy. You're going to be able to use it and to customize it. You'll have enough of the pieces to customize it for that situation that you're dealing with. And then you're going to be able to pick it back up and use it again and use different pieces for the next situation.
And many of our leaders do that. Yeah. They return, they've said to us, they come back to that workbook and they use it over and over and over again for whatever comes up.
Exactly. So they use it for themselves to prepare for conversations and to work through things. They use some of the tools directly with their employees, and they use all of this to build up other leaders. So these leaders have tools as well.
Absolutely. So if you're wondering how you get the most out of the training, you're going to be showing up Monday to Friday, and we're going to meet on Zoom at 12 p.m. Eastern. Each day will stack upon the other, so you will get the most when you show up each day. But fear not, if you can't show up live, I make sure that the replays are sent out in the evenings of every week so you can catch up before the next day. So when you show up, it's handy to have a pen and a notepad ready, and that you've blocked about 60 minutes of focus time each day. You know, turn off the notifications, close your email, shut your office door, and, you know,
Do
commit this.
yourself that service, right? Of creating that space.
Absolutely. You won't regret it. Because Melissa will be going into those, she'll be going deep into those actionable strategies to help bring your employees back into alignment and win back your time. So in saying that, some participants have invited their leadership's team to join them. And we've really seen that collaborative learning experience. They just we've heard the feedback that they've attended multiple times, and when they brought their leadership team, it was just that extra level of learning. Some of them even debriefed after the workshop, and they've really got a lot of, you know, free leadership training for their whole entire team. And everybody was in alignment moving forward.
Yes. So talking about blocking off, I have blocked off my schedule next week. So we're meeting 1 hour a day, but I blocked off the entire day to support all the participants. So that means I'm going to be reaching out to you, and Gisela is going to be helping me in doing this, making sure that everyone receives behind the scenes support.
This
So
is
the
a rare opportunity, Melissa, because your schedule is never cleared.
Never, ever. And Gisela has had an inside peek, so he's been here 2 weeks and he's like, what is going
Take
on?
advantage of it, guys.
Yes. So we're going to be with you every step of the way. My focus, what I want for next week is you to take advantage and get everything that you possibly can. And I want you to be able to actually make a difference in the situations that you're dealing with right now. You don't have to wait. You can take action. People have started reporting changes in their situation on day 2, day 3, day 4. By day 5, some things are solved. And sometimes these situations have been in play for years. These are useful. These are proven. Other people have come before you and have had the results. So take advantage of the fact that you have my attention for a week. Talk to me, talk to Gisela, ask the questions, run your situations by me, get feedback. I will be straight with you. I'm a pretty direct kind of person. I will give you what you need. And the most engaged participants, so the people who are asking the questions, who are showing me that they're committed, I will put as much effort as you will. And I will offer you an opportunity for a connect call. So not just DM, but actually let's get on a call. Let's chat about your situation. Okay, so you can get that extra coaching one-on-one. I will meet you where your commitment level is.
So there's actually 3 bonuses that you can qualify during the workshop. So as I mentioned, when you show up for day 1, you get your work. And this is your blueprint through the workshop and beyond. And like we mentioned, leaders come back and use it with their teams and use it to prepare themselves for those conversations. So this workbook, you are not going to want to miss out on the workbook.
Can I just say something
Absolutely.
about like you show up with the workbook and every day you're going to be you're going to be adding your strategy to the workbook. And then on day 5, we're going to be able to go and review and make sure that there's no holes. Like, you know, exactly step by step by step.
Right. It's like we said, like I said earlier, it's 100% actionable. So as Melissa mentioned, the most engaged participants will be invited to ask questions during the Q&A session on Friday. So we do have leaders that aren't necessarily comfortable bringing them forward right like live, but behind the scenes, when you're talking with Gisela or Melissa, chances are there's probably somebody else experiencing a very similar situation. So it's very advantageous to bring it forward and get an executive coach's, solutions and yes. And if you show up live, you stay to the end of each training, you will qualify to receive the possibility of hot seat coaching. So that's where Melissa will accompany you in designing your employee performance intervention and considering your unique situation. Do you want to add anything to that, Melissa?
Well, I think it just goes to show that I will meet you where you're at, and the most committed people. And if you're showing up, you're making the time and you're showing up for yourself every day, like I will be there for you. And you're going to get these bonuses. So again, just quickly show up on day one live. You get your workbook. You need to be live on day one to get your workbook. Then engage. Talk, ask me questions, engage, and I will give you more of what you want, and I will respond to those questions. And I try to address as many questions as I can day to day, so they don't necessarily have to wait till Friday, and you can ask anonymously. So you don't have to get in the spotlight. You can just send me by DM, just let me know what the question is, and I can address it during the live or address it behind the scene if it's really complex and not an outside of scope. Sometimes it's a little bit outside of scope of the workshop. So sometimes we'll do it behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
And show up live every day, and hot seat coaching might be part of your journey.
So now you know how to make the most of your time next week and gain access to those bonuses that you're not going to want to miss.
So people have been attending this workshop. This is not our first rodeo, and they have been getting results. This is a path that's been proven. So if you are joining, you can expect to get more clarity on leading effectively. You can expect to understand your employee challenges from a different lens and know how to turn those employees into allies. And you can work on shifting your team climate, that overall mood of your team. You can make a difference in 1 week. You can help increase engagement, optimism, that feeling of excitement, that showing up to work because you want to, not because you have to. Isn't that a beautiful thing to have?
Absolutely.
So wherever you are, I promise you that at the end of the week, things will be different. Join us. All you need to show up. I have the strategy and I will meet you there. We start on Monday. If you haven't booked yourself in yet, it is time to do it because this is it. We're there. Starts on Monday. We'll see you on Monday. Any last words, Ghislain?
I'm looking forward to meeting everybody next week, and it'll be a great week for everyone. I'm looking forward to it.
It will. Ooh, I'm excited. See you Monday.
Bye, everyone.